Right guys, in this video we're going to look at area of a triangle. This time we're going to look at using trigonometry. So normally we find the area of a triangle, putting the perpendicular height, multiplied by the length, and then making sure to half it at the very end. But if we don't have a perpendicular length or height, we don't have a 90 degrees. So we're going to look at triangles that are not 90 degrees, and therefore we need to do something a little bit different to find the area of it. So, triangle like this where it's not right angled, so I don't have a perpendicular height, I need to use this formula. So area equals half AB times the sine of C. Now, there's a couple of different ways you could rewrite that by rearranging a little bit, but how I like to use it is like this. Instead of a half, I've got 0.5 times AB times the sine of C. So it's just a case of when I put it into the calculator, it's easier to put in 0.5 rather than put in 1 over 2. So, important bit first is identify sine of C. So that needs to be an angle because it's sine. The only angle we've got is that 35. So that's going to be C. So I'll be doing later on sine of 35 degrees. If that's angled C, then straight across from it is going to be side C. Now we write them as so. In an angle, it'll be an uppercase or capital C. A side is always a lowercase. If that's side C, then the other two sides here must be A and B. Now, A times B is the same as B times A. So it doesn't matter which one A is and which one B is in terms of these two values. So I'm going to call this A, and let's call this one B. Next step, very straightforward. We're just going to substitute in everything we know here into our formula. So, area equals 0.5 multiplied by 4.5 multiplied by 3.5 multiplied by the sine of 35 degrees. And that's essentially it. So if we do this calculation very carefully using our calculators, then we will get the area of this triangle. So I'm going to do 0.5 times 4.5 first. So we've got 2.25, and we're going to multiply it by 3.5 before lastly multiplying by sine of 35. And I'll mention in a second why we leave that till the end. So this now becomes 7.875. We now multiply these two values together. And then lastly, that will have to be multiplied by sine of 35 degrees. Now, if I leave this bit to the end, it just makes sure I don't end up with an error here, okay? Because what I don't want to do in the calculator is do sine of 35 multiplied by this, because the calculator is going to read that as doing the 35 times that first, and then do sine. But if I follow it this way, so I've already got this solution, 7.875. I'm just going to multiply it now by sine of 35. And there's my solution. And as always, make sure you're writing down all the digits. Any rounding, if we do have to do any, that can be done afterwards as our very final step. That's what it looks like. It does say correct the 2 decimal places. So my answer will become 4.52, and don't forget units, it's area, so it's going to be centimeters squared. So key things to remember are, first of all, remember the formula, half AB times the sine of C. And then second of all, identify where that angle is, and more importantly, the side across from it is C. So the other two sides must be A and B. Beyond that, be very careful how you use your calculator, making sure you're typing in the digits correctly so that you're not making any silly mistakes. So next we have, if you're feeling confident, have a go at this for yourself. So pause the video now. Otherwise, let's go through it together. So we're looking for the area of a triangle. I don't have a perpendicular height, so I'm going to use area equals half AB times the sine of c. Or as I like to use it, 0.5 AB times the sine of c. So 55 degrees, that's my angle, that's C. So straight across from it, this empty side is going to be my side C. So 3.5, 5.5, sorry, they can be A and B. Either way around does not make a difference. Substituting in very carefully, 0.5 multiplied by 3.5 multiplied by 5.5 multiplied by sine of C. So we've got 0.5 multiplied by 3.5 is 1 3/4. And then let's multiply that by 5.5, which is 9.625. So lastly, and what I should have put in here, actually, I've just realised that I've been writing sine of C all the time. It's sine of 55 degrees. So I'll put my 55 in there. So lastly, 9.625 multiplied by sine 55, and here's my answer, 7.88. Again, making sure you write down all the digits. The last thing we'll do is just double check, do we have to do any rounding? And it seems we do. We need to do 2 decimal places. So that will be 7.88. And again, it's an area, so it will need to be units squared. We're working in centimeters, so centimeters squared. And that's our solution. Hopefully you had some success in that. If not, try and spot where you went wrong on it, and not make that same mistake, obviously, again, when it comes to doing this final question. So make sure you're noting down what your formula is. The more times you write that down, easier it'll be for you to remember in an exam. Identify very carefully what's C, what's A, what's B, and then follow your substitution and solving from there. Pause the video now so you can have a go at it. Right, let's see how we've done this. So we have got area of this triangle is going to be 0.5 times A times B times the sine of C. C is going to be that 15 degrees, which means that A and B are the 7.2 and the 7.3. And again, it doesn't matter which one A is, which one B is. So my calculation is area equals 0.5 multiplied by 7.2 multiplied by 7.3 multiplied by the sine of 15. So 0.5 multiplied by 7.2 is going to be 3.6 multiplied by 7.3 multiplied by sine of 15. So 26.28 multiplied by sine of 15. And make sure you're showing every step. You will start to pick up marks each time here, okay? And then lastly, that 26.28, let's multiply it by the sine of 15, and we get an answer of 6.8. Make sure you're writing down all the digits. Let's display it in your calculator. Again, any rounding needs to be done. We'll do that at the end if we do need to do any. We do. It is again 2 decimal places. So the area equals 6.80. Even though it's a 0, make sure you're including it. That is our 2 decimal places. You need to have that 0 in. And it's centimeters squared. And that is how you find the area of a triangle which does not have a perpendicular height. Thank you for watching.